Bonjour Internautes, it's Laura, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about self-esteem and body image. Now, as you guys know, I grew up in an area where being an alternative person was kind of a big no-no. It was very judgmental and kind of horrific area to grow up in, really. So now I live in the outskirts of Brighton, and I completely forget that Brighton is so cosmopolitan that I can wear whatever I want in Brighton. There are so many weird and wonderful people in Brighton. It's amazing. And we've just had the Pride celebrations yesterday. I didn't go because I wasn't feeling too grand, but I really think that Brighton is just the best place in this country for creativity and just being yourself, being wacky and weird, and it's okay to be wacky and weird. So I went back to Essex the other day and I vlogged about this, and people were calling out to me in the street. I was literally just wearing jeans, t-shirt and a leather jacket. Like, I didn't even think about it. And one time when we went back to Essex, my husband got bottled for having a Mohican. I mean, seriously, what the hell? So I've always had a negative outlook on my own body image, and I'm always told by people, oh, you're so slim. Oh, you're nice and slim. It's lovely. And I actually have a friend who is very skinny, and she really hates the fact that she's really skinny, and people tell her she's skinny and she gets really kind of offended by that. But I just think, like, I am a mind, so I'm kind of like this cognitive being, and I'm driving this meat vehicle through the world. So why the hell should I worry about what other people think of my body? And in the end, the only people that negatively discuss your body are people that are negatively looking at their own body. Do you know what I mean? They have insecurities about themselves, so they have to make you feel like utter shit. So I've always worried that I have cellulitis, that I'm too fat, I'm too skinny. I mean, I used to be so slim that I wanted to put on weight because I just felt, because everyone used to say I look like a child. People still mistake me for a child, and I have put on a bit of weight since then. In fact, I've put 2 stone on since I left school, and I don't really like the way my body looks at the minute. I don't think I've ever liked the way my body looks particularly. Now, I don't think I am actually overweight. My BMI is the upper end of healthy, and I have been trying to get on this fitness regime, not for my body image. This is the one thing that I have to keep ramming down people's throats, is the fact is, I want to get fit. I want to get fit. Oh my god, behave, tongue, behave. I want to get fit and healthy in order to have a better meat vehicle. I want to soup up my meat vehicle to drive around and be able to run after people and be able to walk up mountains without dying halfway up of breathlessness. I want to be fit and healthy. I want to have fewer problems in the future with health, and considering that I've had mental health problems and I've had respiratory problems when I was a child, I don't want to suffer when I'm older from illnesses. And working as a nurse, I have seen so many people having problems with their lungs and with their hearts through, you know, environmental factors such as smoking, such as eating too much. That is my prerogative. I want to be healthy for that reason. But there is no reason on this earth that I should say to somebody else, oh, you're fat, you should lose weight. Because it's not up to me what they do with their body. It's not up to anyone what anyone else does with their body. I mean, I have friends who are really skinny. I have friends who are quite big, but that is their choice. They can do what they like with their bodies. Some people have diseases, which means they can't put on weight. Some people have diseases, which means that they put on weight and they can't lose weight. Some people have diseases, which means that they have so much fatigue that they cannot go out and physically exercise. I can make a choice to exercise, and I do that. And I can make a choice to eat healthily, and I try to do that. I have a very sweet tooth at times, and I also have a fat tooth at times. I love eating fatty food. I love eating sweets. I ate about 6 toffees before I got up this morning. You know, I love sweets, but I'm really paranoid about my teeth, and I'm paranoid about going to a dentist. And I went to a dentist the other day and she said my teeth are fine. And I've always been super paranoid about my teeth being yellow, and now I don't care. I will wear black lipstick and I don't care if my teeth look yellow because that's my teeth and I just have to deal with it. I used to be really worried about having braces, and people used to call you brace face, and people used to take the mickey out of people with glasses. I mean, what is that? Why? Because braces are just there to fix your teeth in the first place. You're going to have better teeth than the people that are having a go at you for having braces. I mean, what the hell? The thing I don't get is people with, like, boring ass hair colours, like brown. And I know I'm being judgmental. My hair's kind of like a light brown. My hair's mousy brown, the most boring of all the colours. Boring hair colour. And people take the mick out of people who have ginger hair. I think ginger and red hair is the most glorious hair colour. I mean, if I could have ginger hair, I would have ginger hair. I dyed my hair ginger once. I love ginger hair. Personally, I never liked my natural hair colour. It's mousy brown, goes a bit blondie in the summer, does its own thing. It's kind of all different colours. Can be whatever colour it feels like on that day. It is kind of tortoise shell. It just changes. I never used to like it, so I dyed my hair from when I was 13 years old. Now, I'm trying to grow out the dye. Ow, that's caught in my necklace. I'm trying to grow out this dye. I have this orangey, gingery bit, which is from the black that I took out because I had dyed black hair and I looked a little bit like a vampire, but that's fine. I liked looking like a vampire. I'd still like to look like a vampire, but I can't be bothered with dyeing my hair all the time. Also, I've decided I like my natural colour now, so I'm trying to go out. This orangey bit, this gingerness, people are like, why have you got ginger in your hair? Well, do you know why I've got ginger in my hair? Because I tried to take black out of it with bleach, and that made it go ginger. And I happen to like ginger hair a lot, so deal with it. I'm ginger now. Bloody well deal with it. That brings me on to eye colour. People always say that blue eyes are piercing. I happen to get asked all the time, are you wearing contact lenses? No, I am not wearing contact lenses because anytime I try to put anything near my eyeballs, they water so much. I have the most sensitive eyes. I can't even read outside in the sunshine because my eyes are like, I can't deal with it. There's scientific evidence to say that blue eyes are not more susceptible to light than brown eyes. But I happen to find that I cannot go outside. I'm seriously like a vampire, like a living vampire. I go outside and my eyes are like, whoa, I cannot see. That's annoying. I'm also really short. Really short. I am 4'11". That is 148 centimetres. And that's rounded up a little bit because I'm actually 4'10" and 3/4. And 3/4 really counts. But only if you actually care about your height. I mean, people will come up to me. People have been known to come up to me and say, oh my God, you're so short. I mean, like, really? I didn't notice. You know, where I come from, I'm really tall because I'm actually too tall to be a hobbit. God damn it. And I can't even be a dwarf because I haven't got a beard. I'd love a beard. Big ginger beard. Big ginger Viking bushy beard. I really love ginger beards. I love ginger hair. I love beards. I'd have a beard. When I was younger, I used to wish I was a boy because I knew what I'd like to wear when I was a boy. I'm kind of a tomboy. I don't know if that is kind of, if I'm like gender fluid or whatever, but I kind of have like very boyish traits. I love cars, I love aeroplanes, I love bugs, and I also have really girly traits, so I don't really know. So my self-body image is that I tried to stop my boobs from growing when I was younger, I really did, and now I have kind of fairly average size boobs, I guess. I don't even know if they're average size because most people have big boobs, but then I don't really know why. I don't know if they're fake or not, but my boobs are kind of, they exist and they're boobs. And I kind of used to be really self-conscious about, first of all I was self-conscious about having boobs because I didn't want them to grow because I wanted to be a boy. But then I decided that I kind of wanted boobs, I wanted to be a girl, that's fine. And then my boobs grew and then they stopped growing, and then they're kind of like in the middle there and they're not doing much more. I do not fill out tops very often. I don't think my boobs are that small, but I don't fill out tops very easily. But I don't care anymore. I've decided that I'm going to learn to make clothes, make more... The same goes for people that are really tall. Like, I know a lot of people that are tall that stoop a lot because they're embarrassed about being tall, and people make a lot of comments about being tall, especially if you're female. Like, it's okay to be short if you're female, but not if you're male. And it's okay to be tall if you're male, but not if you're female. So what is that? I don't really understand. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is we are all different sizes. We're all different shapes. I happen to be a pear-shaped. I've got... Ding! Ding! Oh my god, everything's going off. I happen to be pear-shaped, and that means I've got a kind of tiny waist and I have really big hips. Really big hips. And I never liked that. Never. Because I found that too feminine and I didn't like it. But I've kind of learned recently that I have to deal with my body the way it is. We are all genetically made up to look different. If we all looked the carbon copy of each other and we all had this kind of very bland look, we all were the same, no one would date anyone because everyone would be boring. We'd all have the same personality, we'd all look the same. It would be extremely boring. So what I'm trying to say is embrace your differences. Embrace the fact that you are kind of short. I like the fact that I'm short. I don't so much like the fact I'm stocky, but I'm learning to deal with it. I used to play rugby when I was younger, and I swear my legs are rugby players' legs. But over time I've learnt to kind of embrace my differences, and my mum always gets really het up about people calling her short, and for me I always joke about being a hobbit, and people kind of get taken aback by that, and I think if you can laugh at yourself, then at least you can beat off the people that are laughing at you. They end up laughing with you, and then, you know, you can educate these people to say that, you know, I might be different, but it doesn't mean that I am lesser than you. I very much don't get bullied now that I don't care what people think about me. I very much just think if I want to wear a bikini on the beach and you have to look at my pasty white legs, then I'll just put out a public service announcement and say, wear sunglasses, I'm going on the beach, you might get snow blindness. I don't really care, to be honest, anymore. I've got to this point in my life where there are greater issues than whether or not I look like a narwhal caught in a fishing net. I just, you know, I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I like to wear makeup. It makes me feel a little bit better. It makes me feel like I've made an effort to kind of present myself to the world. I kind of feel a bit like if I just wander around with no makeup on, that's fine. I'm not even bothered about the fact I have acne. I didn't even try to cover up this acne scar I have today. I had a comment the other day about that spot. Someone said, oh, has your husband been knocking you about? And I was like, well, no, but I have spots. It's just, you know, I just have spots. I'm spotty. Spotty, dotty. Dotty and spotty. That should be my new thing. I'm dotty and I'm spotty. But yeah, I don't care anymore. I have acne. I have to deal with it. Sometimes I can cover it up and other times I can't be bothered. Really, I'm going to try and wear makeup most days just because I feel kind of, with my depression, if I'm going in just like mooching around at this kind of organic state where I kind of just roll out of bed and, you know, do whatever. I don't even have to do my hair most days because it's curly and curly hair looks alright just crawling out of bed. Besides the fact that I used to get bullied for curly hair, but people used to say to me, oh, people just want curly hair. So, and then, like, I swear, people would say, oh, here we get perms. Like, one lady asked my mum when I was a baby if she'd had my hair permed. I mean, why would you perm my baby's hair? You know, no one is happy being them. No one is happy with who they are and what they are. But the thing is, some people are really good at hiding it. I have got to this point now, so I just think it is what it is. I just have to live with it. I have to live with the fact I have depression. I have to make the best of a bad situation. I mean, I don't think I look that bad. Some days I look like a troll that's climbed out of a sewer. Some days I look fine. But really, even on the sewer troll days, I just have to make the best of a bad situation and go out like I don't care and just deal with it. Some days we feel a little bit funky, other days we feel nice and fresh and happy. And I think the best way to beat the haters is to say, I am going to wear a feather in my cap every day, even if you think I look like an ogre. I don't care. Maybe I want to look like an ogre, you know? Maybe I can't be bothered to pluck my eyebrows at the minute. Why should I have to do that? Why should I have to prescribe to your societal image that you want me to look like? I don't want to look like you. I don't want to look like you. I don't want to look like you. I want to look like myself. I want to be who I am and not give a damn about what any of you guys think. Like, I love you guys here, but I'm talking about the wider populace. I just think people are so judgmental, and it's okay to be judgmental because it's human nature to be judgmental. I think we have this instinct. Like, if someone has a growth on their face, instinctually we think that person must be infected. It's kind of like a biological, if you look at it from the biological standpoint, that person must have an illness. So you wouldn't want to mate with that person, kind of biologically. And so I think that's come into society. We kind of brought that biological misunderstanding of illnesses. And now we know so much about illnesses and medicine that we can treat those poor people that are socially and physically disfigured. We can treat them now, most of the cases. People with cleft palates. I met a lady who, she was born with a cleft lip and cleft palate. And she was a beautiful, beautiful woman, and she had a scar on her face. So what? Scars, I've got scars. I've got a scar on my foot. I've got a scar on my back. I've got scars all over my body, but what does it matter? You know, if you have a cleft palate, it makes it difficult to speak and to eat and other things like breathing and stuff, I think. And that gets fixed, but it's not the aesthetic, it's the practical. And I think that kind of innate sort of instinct that we have to kind of move away from disfigured people has kind of, like, we have evolved to understand what's going on physically. What we haven't evolved to do is understand what's going on sociologically. We haven't taken the fact that that disfigurement or the way somebody looks doesn't necessarily reflect on their gene power and doesn't necessarily reflect on the person that they are. I mean, everyone judges. I judge, you judge, we all judge, but we have the ability to override these instinctual segregation of society that we have. We are all different, although there are illnesses and there are disabilities and there are different body types. We are all humans, and instinct is there, and instinct is really, really, really hard to fight. It is ingrained in our DNA. Instinct is there, but we are human beings. We have evolved to have the ability to say, hang on a minute, you might be overweight, but you're an awesome person and I absolutely adore you. So why does it matter if somebody has 6 legs, 2 heads, whatever? Why does it matter if I'm shorter than you? Why does it matter if I'm skinny and you are bigger than me? What does it matter? Pepper, why does it matter why we are different? Why can't we just celebrate being different? I am so glad that I look different to most people. I'm so glad that I'm short because it gives me a starter point in conversations, and people say, oh my god, you're so tiny, and I'm like, yeah, it's great, I fit in kids' clothes and I don't have to pay as much VAT as you guys. Brilliant, isn't it? Isn't it brilliant? I think so. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or you had any of the same issues that I have mentioned in this video, or you want to comment on what I've said in this video, please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to leave a like because it really helps me out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and you can find the links to all my social media down below. I have Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, the works.